everyone. You're good.
Hello, everyone. Another Wednesday night here on Weave the Tale, and we have a bit of a mix-up for you. Usually we do one-shot Wednesdays, but we have a character creation tutorial and all-around just fun little mini session zero for the start of our Black Void Arena Coliseum combat sessions these next couple weeks. So check us out every Wednesday after this for the culmination of death between our wonderful players. My name is Anthony, and I'm very happy to see everybody again on Weave the Tale. Thank you so much to our sponsors, Modifius for Black Void, and Christoph for for creating this and helping us along with this. But of course also to Mr. Bustillos and Penny for a Tale for making the character sheet for Roll20 and just generally helping to put this together. I'm just so excited to play something like this. Bronze Age role playing is super important and fun for me, and I was kind of looking for something new that wasn't RuneQuest as much as I like it, or something else, and it just fell in my lap. And before I get into it, once again, everybody, my name is Anthony, and you can find me on Twitter at Prain the Plague. But without further ado, I'd love to introduce the wonderful players that will be making characters with us today, starting in no particular order with the wonderful Darby Pack.
No, I already. Okay. Hello, I'm
Fortune Flame.
I'm Darby. Yes. I use she/her pronouns, and I'm excited to be making a character. Yes. Should I say
The character.
More? Did I? A character.
Just bone related things.
Just bone related. Just bone things today.
Just bones. This
will be a running theme tonight, so.
Yeah, off to a real start here.
Next, we'll have the wonderful Ian V. James with his character No Bones.
The wonderful. Yeah, okay. So I'm going to be playing No Bones. Uses he, they, it's fine. Mostly, I really hope you refer to No Bones as No Bones because it's the most fitting. No Bones is known to pick a bone and debone the boned until we have a boneless victim.
Oh my god, lots of bones.
And no bones with one bone more. I only learned about the no bones sensational meme literally about maybe 45 minutes ago, and I decided
months ago
I'm going to make that my entire personality. Because I do that in real life. I'm at Ian V. James on Twitter. I like Pathfinder. I'm a huge fan of Anthony, so of course I had to be on this show. But yeah, I'm looking forward to getting absolutely slaughtered and nowhere near winning this competition.
And of course, the last but not least, our wonderful scribbling Penny, Sam, who will most likely be doing the killing that Ian was just describing.
No, I'm gonna not kill anyone this game, even though that is the role of it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm gonna slaughter everyone. But hello, I am Sam. Yeah. I'll be playing. I don't know yet. I don't have a cool no bones thing. But yeah, you could find me on Twitter at Scribbling Penny, and anywhere else as Scribbling Penny. I have no idea what's going on right now. I'm just excited to play Black Void.
Everything. Sam does the everything and is wonderful at it. Yeah. So look at that beautiful art. There's actually a void in the O. Which I love, and there will be vortexes in the game. It is not lost on me. I promise. What? I have some basic, some standard equipment right here that I hope provides moderate protection and damage reduction. But we'll see if that works out. So just a little bit of context about Black Void before we dive into the quick start, which I recommend everybody pick up, and it's really makes it a lot easier to kind of pick up on the game, its themes, and how to create characters. So, like I said, I love Bronze Age role-playing. Essentially, the Earth between 2000 and 1000 BCE has been sucked out of its place in the cosmic space through a giant vortex, a void, right, dragging humanity and everything that used to belong to our wonderful planet at the bottom of this outlandish esoteric system where different species and extraplanar threats vie for dominance. They kind of converge in this beautiful, wonderful, multi-districted city, each of which is beautifully detailed in the core book, and that's just one of the many benefits that the core book has to offer. But it is known as Lin the Eternal, and the specific place that we're going to be fighting in later on is going to be called Darbitan. Darbitan. This is going to be like the region of a large conflux of different castes and peoples, waterways, and trade. But what's a couple of central business districts without bloodletting arenas for blood sport and to watch just horrible things in an effort to kind of stave off some of the boredness of being in a Bronze Age society in the unknown world, in the unknown realms. And so it's a lot of fun. The concept is super cool. The lore is like really detailed, and everything is super it's very meticulous the way that it was put together. And so you can really run long campaigns, with different antagonists and possible threats, secrets. It's also very crunchy. It's difficult. It's unforgiving. People die, and every critical failure in combat leads to just a horrible injury that you're gonna have to roll on a specific table for. There's a lot of those, heads up. There's a lot of like roll on death table number whatever to see what happens to you, whether that be for sanity, whether that be for awful injuries, or even certain good things. So we'll just hop right in. It's some beautiful art. Everything about it, like I said, it's Bronze Age inspired. So every society, was represented into this amalgam of what Earth became afterwards. And so it's really fun to think about, your character and their descendants, or I should say ancestors coming from a particular place on Earth, right? How you got there. So everybody's going to be playing rich, regardless of their caste, according to Lin standards. They're going to have 300 dinars, and these are the the currency of the game, that everybody's going to use for equipment. But they're also they can also buy doctor's bags, physician tools, guns, gunpowder kits, beasts of burden, even boats, and there is water in this waterway area. So if anybody really wants to get a boat or something in particular, want to flex on the other poors and just come out with a boat, they can. And that's the kind of game that this is, right? But before we get to the beautiful things that everybody's money can provide in their class, or in this case, caste, very literally a caste, we should start with how strong everybody is. Everybody will be starting at the novice level. If you want to go for kind of, good or strong, kind of getting into it, you know how to play it, I personally recommend Adept. Gets you around kind of 60 points to play around with, but we're starting at novice since we're going to have a lot of players, and it's kind of expected that everybody's thrown in, to vie for dominance and fighting in this wonderful arena. So novice, like I said, the game is pretty crunchy. So there's a lot that's really fun about it, and you'll notice a lot of your favorite character creation aspects from your favorite RPGs and whatnot. Traits being the main, equivalent analog for the traditional attributes or ability scores that are, really useful in most RPGs. So we'll be starting with 24 points for traits and 24 points for everything else as a novice for our beginning level here. We'll get to the everything else in just a little bit, and there's quite a lot to take from. We will be pulling mostly from Quick Start, like I said, but a couple of really cool sections we'll be moving on to the core book for, and seeing what's on there. So as we scroll down, there are a couple of different traits, and some of them can be really useful. Some of them have use in kind of more general situations, and others are really necessary for something in particular. So I'll just go down the list. Agility, awareness, stamina, strength, intellect, persuasion, presence, and willpower. Now, like I said, some of these are really useful, some of them are more situational, but basically the goal of it here is that every point for a trait only costs 1 point. The cost for a trait does not rise as you get more, a higher rank in a particular trait, and then a couple of like restrictions. Everybody has to have at least one in every trait, and everybody can have a maximum of 5 in a particular trait, right? So that's where we're at. So, just some stuff about what the traits do. Willpower, for example, is what you use to resist fear and like sanity-based challenges. Strength, for the classic holding people off and kind of fighting with each other. So I kind of wanted to get, pretty in line with most of the stuff that we already know in other RPGs. I kind of wanted to ask each of you like what archetype you had in mind for your character, and then we can talk about maybe like some fun ways to distribute trait points. Before, because it's basically like one half of the character creation is traits, and then the other half is like the fluff that really makes your character like special. And of course, there's mechanical benefits too. So, take it away, whoever would like to, has really excited about a particular idea for that.
I mean, No Bones is ready. No Bones is ready.
No Bones. Please read out your traits
Ready to
distribution.
I have no idea. Conceptually, see, No Bones received a windfall of a mysterious value. It's a lot of money for a slave. He could have investigated why he got so much money, because imagine something devious had occurred. He doesn't care. It's all spent on one weapon. He will fight with a free hand. More on why later. But basically, I want to put everything into his ability to blindingly and mercilessly kill one person, if even at the cost of maybe not being aware of the environment around him. So with that, No Bones wants an extremely powerful weapon and cares for nothing
glass
else.
cannon. You just want a glass cannon,
but
loincloth.
Basically, yeah. Yeah, basically a boneless fighter. Yep.
But boneless fighter. Okay.
Yep.
What is represented by a no bones fighter? I think is pretty solidly agility. Agility is going to be a really important stat for everyone, because initiative kind of has a combined function in this game. You will roll 1d12 and add your agility to that, and then that will be your initiative, right? That you'll use to fight people off. Now, no bones, right? You just want to be really slimy, sludgy, all over the place. You're a puddle. Nobody can see you, right? you want to move quicker. Plus, if you're a glass cannon, if somebody kills you round one, at least you get that hit out. At least you're able to do, that thing that you always wanted to do. So I think agility would probably be pretty good for you. One and everything else. If you wanted to put nothing into, so agility.
Oh no, I've already got 5 in agility written down. That's literally the only note I took. 5. It says 5 strength, 5 agility, and there's nothing else on the sheet. So yeah.
Not even using the rest of the points. Just that's it.
Did you want to fight with a ranged weapon or a melee weapon?
Excuse you.
Excuse you. It's No Bones in all his glory.
Yeah.
He's actually holding himself up through sheer willpower.
I'm not a bone in sight. A bone to pick, however, in melee range.
That's really good.
So yeah, 5 strength.
I'd say strength 5. Yeah, 5 strength, 5 agility. A lot of weapons don't actually let you add like your modifier to them if they're ranged. Most melee weapons do let you add strength as a modifier to damage when you hit. So if you bonk, you bonk. You will bonk. So I really think, and it says that example for strength here is that you have the strength of a lion. Or maybe of a particularly strong otherworldly creature resembling a lion, maybe with or without bones and or tentacles. So that's pretty good for traits for you, and then one in everything else, and then kind of save it for the next sections that you're able to really spend it. What about Darby's character?
The character that the name I've come up with, which is totally original, and I've never used it before. Rin.
Never.
Rin. Never ever. So far, a kind of like light sort of build, very 5 in intellect, a 5 in agility, and not very strong. A 2 in
Good,
strength
cool,
and
cool.
a 3 in stamina. And the last 5, I'm sort of bouncing between putting it into presence or persuasion. I'm not sort
Presence
of
or
settled
persuasion.
yet.
It's honestly, I feel like both would be really useful, just in the sense that we're going to be in an arena. So persuasion, I think, would be really useful if you're trying to call upon somebody else on the arena, maybe trying to make like a pseudo alliance. Hey, I'm kind of weak, but we should team up on no bones because this person is just rolling around bonking everybody and I can't do anything. That would be really useful for that. I think presence is a lot more useful to kind of lay claim to the arena around you and call upon the stands. Maybe they throw tomatoes or space tomatoes at no bones instead, and that's how we're able to deter his club mania. There'd be plenty of ways to help with that.
Oh, Mania.
Character with
I'm already being
presence.
targeted because I went first.
Listen, that's
It's a
just
good
what
example.
happens.
It's just what
Yep.
happens.
I think
I'm
presence,
not winning the
though,
Cephalopod
because
game.
I kind of like the idea of a character that is not physically very not gonna put up a great fight if going head to head, but is more manipulating the environment a little bit, like
The
fast on
controller.
her feet. Yeah, fast on her feet, quite literally, and also mentally, and then utilizing the fact that they're in this arena to help in some way. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
In Hunger Games when you have the sponsors dropping stuff. She would absolutely play that social game. Hello.
I was gonna say it's definitely called Cephalopod game for a reason, everyone, by the way. And you know what? We're all huge fans of hit TV shows taking the world by storm, right? So using is some of that inspiration, right? Or like you said in Hunger Games, like the sponsors. There's a lot of situations in which an external factor can really help you out in one of these. So having some, you might not be able to have the gold to afford a beast of burden to help you, but one of your benefactors might. And you might be able. I would love to see some really wild effects in the Coliseum, the arena, right? It could even be something as and this is spoiler, right? Maybe for the session, everybody. But there's going to be a lot of objectives, secondary objectives that people will be able to run to or kind of interact with. So there might be blood ritual altars that either harm or help you, right? So kind of your job to go up there first, inspect it, and then take the plunge to see if you want to be the one to accept its blessing or not, right? And there also might be a lot more interesting ways to utilize just getting around, right? So staying alive, staying in the arena, using beasts of burden, explosives that might be littered around. Oops, there's mines everywhere. And last but not least, the always possible idea that anybody, a mage in the arena, in the stands, trying to add some extra flavor, can take the Colosseum in its entirety into a different world for just a little while, just so that everybody can experience, a nice home away from home, and see what soars above or crawls beneath, depending on the world that you've been transported to. So lots of secondary objectives. Having presence should be really helpful.
I would like a pug, please. Give me a pug.
Just bestow the pugs.
Aminal.
Yeah, and so one more time before we move on over to Sam and her her wonderful character. Can't wait to see Archetype in mind. I just want to go over the traits one more time. So traits, because it's half of the whole thing. So it's 1 minimum. We'll be starting with 24 points total. Each trait has to have 1 minimum by the time you're done with character creation, and there can be no trait higher than 5. Basically 5 is like your soft cap for traits, especially at character creation. But the good thing here is that each point you put in a trait is only 1 point. So you could you can get 5 and a couple different stats, right? Or try it out or a couple different traits if you're interested in doing that, and kind of have like just a throwaway trait if you're like I just feel a really good like common trait that I think everybody's gonna really enjoy if you can't come up with one, or you feel like you have extra, is definitely gonna be like stamina. And because stamina is just like that raw resisting, the constitution analog for resisting poisons, toxins, but it can also count for diseases and other supra natural experiences, right? And so right here, boom, see, this is perfect, right? Each one higher than 1, looking beautiful. 3 5s, 3 4s, 3, a 2. That's great.
Alternatively, you could be like No Bones. Ready?
It could be like No Bones.
All agility, all strength, all gas, no brakes, all flesh, no bones, ones across the board, cash money to spare.
So we have the difference there between a balanced build and what we call, like glass cannon rolling
Bare
down
bones.
the hill, paper skin and glass bones. But you will keep, those points to use later on in character creation, right? To use in other things. So I wonder, how many talents and skills and all kinds of weird powers, it's just a dude with a club, but this is going to be the weirdest dude with a club that ever did was.
He just loves that nightlife, really wants to go clubbing.
Goes hard. He goes clubbing. Goes real hard. Stamina low though, so you know it's hard. It doesn't wake up until 6 p.m. the next day and gets right back at it.
Yeah.
For another 8-hour shift, passes out, back at it again. Sam, how about you? What wonderful archetype did you have cooking up for us today?
I can't even. Don't know what's going on with No Bones. This is why he's like ripping bones out of people, is because he's trying to like form himself into something, but being a gelatinous cube, they just flow out. But that'll be something to explore.
Can't put the bones in, so just wraps around a bone. Just like, it's supporting my fleshy frame. Like, just twist it around.
I mean, by all means, help me build this character. I have no idea what this character is. So yeah.
It's the people's character. It's the people's
Yeah.
Give the people what they want.
Quite literally. I don't know. I'm torn between someone that uses bloodletting rituals, and perhaps this whole tournament is just some sort of perverse way for them to just get all the blood they need for some ulterior motive, maybe. Or a mystic that is just void touched and wants to mess with everyone's minds and create illusions.
No,
I'm gonna take this
see,
dark.
Like, that's No, that's what I was gonna say, because like magic in this game is really represented by those two facets, right? And so thank you for mentioning both. It was blood ritual and mysticism, right? And so with blood rituals, you have the classic sacrifice something to get something else, right? And then the larger you sacrifice, the more no bones. Bones, no bones. Required for
no bones
for
bleeds. Maybe we'll have to see.
It's all blood. It's actually 100%. It's just a thin layer of skin with just a sea of higher hemoglobin.
You're just like a sea anemone or like a sea star, because they don't have right. Because it's just no bones. You're just using you're pushing your blood
or
into a limb to make it move.
Or squid.
Hey.
It's quite fun. The mysticism is really cool because you get it's very forbidden knowledge in the Library of Alexandria, which didn't exist yet, right? More like the Intemenanki, like the Tower of Babylon, and going into its halls and exploring all that language ever was or will be lost to time, but not here. because we're close enough that it's people still remembered and whatnot. So it's really fun to think about. So for you, classic 5 on traits. The 3 I would personally put would be intellect, willpower, and awareness. And between these, there is a strong affinity for esoteric knowledge, for being aware of that knowledge, and then if it blows up on you, being able to resist its wiles. And so, if you're a mystic, you can kind of, yeah. So blood ritual. Let's think about having minions on the ground that you can sacrifice, or maybe even other players to fuel yourself, and that's a fun way.
Definitely
for
other
like
players.
A compounding effect. Players, or a mystic, to kind of pull these a void marked, a mystic to kind of pull esoteric void knowledge out of the forbidden Tower of Babylon, right, and use it for yourself. So there's some pretty fun things.
Just some light-hearted content.
Just
for sure.
There will be content warnings galore for this game, everyone. This is not a happy... Lean is not a happy place. The Eternal City is not a happy place to be.
Are you saying
We're very happy.
This world where they're having a death game just like in the middle of the city is not like a fun, happy, like, huddle vibes? Like...
Death games are pretty fun, so... I think overall it's fun. Yeah. You provide a public good, a public service, right? And that's actually a great segue. Yeah, no, you're public what?
We're public servants, like, we work for the government, we're, like, providing a service for the city. We just might not survive said service.
Yeah.
I don't know.
The rate of which...
I'll survive.
The blood mage will survive, right? That's always how it works out.
Wait, I could have...
So, yeah, no, everybody's pretty happy, with your service. You get a stipend, no health insurance, but you do get life insurance, just in case.
Everyone's 1 day from retirement.
Just helping everyone.
I can't wait to hear, like, I was here when the world was sucked into the void. Like, and then falls into a pit with a bunch of, like, space eels, like, the next second, and it's or gets sacrificed, and it's...
Like, wait, so you didn't hear my backstory?
And then Sam's character would be able to tell it, because with the sacrifice, you would gain his knowledge. He was a baker. Oh my god, I wanted croissants.
Awesome.
So, and that is actually, the topic of public servitude or the greater world is actually really tied into your character. One of my favorite things about it. So we'll be moving on to the background section here, right? And so now we'll be able to utilize any points you had left over, right? Especially if you denied to use them. It'll be really useful to kind of use them in the background. So for the background section, we will be switching on over to the core book, and we'll see what's going on in the core book for the background. And that's because the core book has a lot, it really kind of fleshes out the world of this, the city and each region, and kind of like the different ways that you can affect the world around you. And so it can be really nice, to figure out what's going on. So each thing does have a point cost, just like for, your traits, but this time, you're going to be spending it on things that are really... this is that section of D&D 5th edition that's like, pick your wealth level, and you got to spend this amount of gold coins like per day, and you get guaranteed these sort of benefits. This is like a whole section just for that, and each of these powers can really affect you, especially in an arena. That's kind of why I wanted to use the core book version. So there's quite a lot of different ones that you can put out, and then also like different levels that you can select as well. We will start with the most common one, and that'll be the caste system, right? So being like a Bronze Age world, right? There is an amalgam of different cultures, castes, and kind of, and what this world interpret those castes as. But you can find a lot of the same characteristics with real-world caste examples in Black Void in Lim. And so we have really 3 different types of castes, or 4, and they're different, and they're different levels of like expensiveness. We have the Kalbi, which are like casteless laborers, very little, gold, very little sort of anything, right? And so literally, I'll read you the line that it says in the text. They do the work that no one else wants and are considered filthy, worthless, and barred from most districts and areas of the city. And the literal meaning of Kalbi is dog. So no bones, I think wanting to play earlier, from what I remember, a casteless person just really helps drive this joke home, that you're still playing a dog.
Yeah, there are many layers to it, certainly. I will say.
This would be 0 points. This is if you want to spend absolutely no points on your cast, and you want to spend them on everything else, you avoid spending it on this, and you become a Kalbi. If you're picking
No Bones has got the Sigma grind set. No time for anything.
Has no time for class system, bro. Gotta deny, miss me with that classism. So you're gonna be playing, a Kalbi. That's cool though, because that means that you wouldn't even have access to Derbiton if it wasn't for this. Like, this is kind of gonna be your first time seeing it. You're gonna be entering the arena, and you're gonna be like, amongst privileged people for the, in close contact for the first time. Nobody's gonna be throwing feces at you necessarily, right? So but you don't. Hopefully, Darby doesn't, soothe an entire arena to throw stuff.
Sponsors, hey,
Hopefully,
mind.
hopefully Rin is gonna be able to do be nice to No Bones, but not necessarily. But there's plenty of stuff as well. The other 3 castes are going to be in order. Baltu, and this is going to be unskilled laborers and slaves of negligible importance. It's a very touchy subject, something that I see a lot, sometimes in games, and isn't necessarily always covered in the best way. But having it be a part of this caste system and then seeing the interaction of those caste members, I'm really interested to see in an arena setting where these are wiped away, right? And whatever status you had in chains no longer means anything when you're clubbing someone to death, perhaps, right? So in tradition, human history, they've always been used as a way to break out of these, sort of like castes sometimes. And so that could be a motivation for your characters, if that was something that you particularly wanted. So Baltu would be 1 point, largely, and these would be largely confined to slum areas, but at least within the city. Then you have the Sharva. Sharva is 3 points to purchase. And these would be basically like the serfs, skilled laborers, farmers, peasants, and fishers who do not own resources or tools and make up this caste. I mean, straight up feudal society, serfdom, right? And so if you wanted to be a serf, you could play a Sharva, but at least it nets you access to laborers, and whether that be your family or somebody else, you could at least have access to better equipment, maybe knowing the city a little bit more, and kind of utilizing it for that. So that's pretty cool. And then finally, the Muati, which is 6 points to purchase, but then this is like, this is the high caste, right? This is artisan, tradesmen, merchants. Umanami are among some of these common castes, and it enjoys like the umami. I'm sorry, the umanami, the umami cast. I can't help it. It's the
Kalbi cast.
People. It's an awful way to put it.
We're in Flavor Town.
This too, what I did to myself. The cast enjoys several privileges and can move freely around some of the upper districts of the city. So if you were playing a Muati, maybe you're part of the aristocracy and you're trying to prove yourself, with combat being the grand journey that it seems to higher castes rather than just another life, another avenue for indentured servitude, thinly veiled under the guise of conscription, right, or something similar. Did everybody had an idea maybe for what caste they were hoping on picking, apart from the obvious Colby, Dog No Bones, Rin, and Sam's character?
Mm.
I might go with
So-
Muwati. I might go just be totally highbrow. That's how they were educated.
Educated. So you're playing someone who's used to esoteric intelligence and knowledge and spells, and so you're kind of really interested in, yeah, I've always had access to the library. What do you mean you can't read? I'm sorry.
Yeah,
Like
they gave me access to anything I wanted to sacrifice. Just out in the backyard playing with. Yeah. Fine.
What do you mean your family doesn't have 6 ponies?
Well, now we have 4, but
6 ponies.
We went through such a really hard time. We had to put down 2 of the ponies. We couldn't afford to keep them all.
Yeah, that's what happened to the ponies with my. Moving
gotta
on.
decide.
Yeah.
Come
Well,
on.
you lost one
No
and they
Bones.
replaced it.
Yeah. This is too quick for No Bones. You gotta keep up.
You got faster. What? No Bones by himself is faster than Sam's character on the ponies. Keep up your speed. Keep up your agility.
If you see a skeleton lying about, I've decided it was dead weight.
Wow.
So if I sacrifice
Salvo,
the
anybody?
pony, would I get its speed?
Yeah, that is. You would sacrifice it and then beseech your sacrifice for certain bonuses, and that could be dependent on how well you do or what the creature was sacrificed. So if you wanted to bring your stable of expendable ponies to the arena,
Pony 1,
since you're playing a high cast,
4, and 7.
you'll be kind of rich. I'll give you a bulk dinar deal on some prime ponies for sacrifice, but. We can talk about it later. We get to the equipment.
Let's talk about this later.
So you went to Pony Costco and bought ponies in bulk?
Yeah, Kirkland. Only Kirkland ponies. Rin, were you thinking of being a non-person, a slum person, a serf, or a highbrow person? These are the caste system in a nutshell.
Surf's up, my guys.
Serfs.
You cannot. You cannot say that.
You can't.
Okay.
She just
There's
did.
waterways. She's cowabunga.
No.
Surfing on the sludge for everybody to see, but just enough not to get arrested. Like just enough that you're allowed to be there.
I'm thinking I might go with the third, the Shrava. Is that how it's pronounced?
The Sharva, and that would be the surf cast. So that's perfect. Yeah, and that would be you could tie it back to you or your family, and then kind of keep your cast in mind as we do the rest of your background, because you might be able to purchase mentors, followers, contacts, allies, whether or not you're educated or not. These are all separate parts of the background, and the background I feel like is really the funnest way to kind of differentiate your character, and also to add some wild cards. Oh, I'm good because I have a follower, a squire that'll throw himself at the situation. Me.
I'm a famed clockmaker called TikTok, and there's a big following to my craft.
Stop.
I'm
It
suffering.
works so well too, because watchmakers are well valued, right? But still kind of laborers, right? You're cobbler type. That's pretty funny. Yeah, and Sam, if you wanted, ooh, is that a little expendable squire for me? You could totally. Can I? Yeah, can I? So we'll go down alphabetically, but yeah, so that'll be the Sharva for Rin, Colby for No Bones, and that'll be the Muwati cast for Sam's character. No bones, you pay 0. Rin, you pay 3, and Sam, you pay 6. So we'll move
There we
on
go.
here. We'll go in alphabetical order. So allies, it's kind of two. So if I'll say like the name of the part of the background, and then I'll give like different point amounts for how impactful you want this to be, right? So we'll do so allies 2, 4, and 6. Spend 2 points, you gain 1 ally of minor influence and power. 4 points, 2 allies, or just 1 of moderate power. And 6 points, 1 ally of 2 of moderate or 1 superior, right? And these are people who could befriend you to provide information, resources, contacts. They're often family members, factions, or guild members whose agendas align with your own. Is anybody interested in an ally? Not necessarily somebody who would be able to help you during combat, but like these are some of the sponsors that you were thinking about, for example, Rin.
I think I am interested in some friends on the outside. Like when someone has like a show and they're not sure if they'll do well, so you plant people in the audience to like hype up the crowd, or like throw in some like zingers or something to help move it along.
Ooh, that's a really good idea. So you're planting, like it's at a comedy show and you hired like these people to laugh no matter how hard you bomb. Like these people have your back. Like,
wow.
Okay.
Or someone
really
definitely gonna remind
heckle you that you have a prepared like heckle back, so you can just like roast them.
What about you though? Got him. Like.
No.
Surf's up, my dude.
Yeah. Okay. That's a good idea. Would you like one of superior? How many points were you looking to spend on it? 2, 4, or 6?
Let's go middle and go with 4, I guess. Spend 4
Middle and
points
4?
to get a. Yeah.
Okay. So that you do you want 2 lowly allies or 1 of moderate power and authority?
Maybe 1 of moderate power and authority.
Okay.
It's a 2-pronged attack. Like I'm gonna hype up the crowd from the inside, and they're gonna be like my spokesperson on the outside. Like
We can make it honestly so that the the character that I will be like playing as, like my commentator, the sports, like the arena master, will be the MC, the master of ceremonies, can be your moderate power, right? So still regarded as like still in your cast as well. They're also Sharva, but they provide an essential service. People laugh at them, kind of a jester, but it's a mouthpiece, and that mouthpiece is yours. Whenever you want the commentator to say something, please tell me, and I will be like, yeah, look at Rin. With audience plants. I'm the plant. It's going great.
yeah.
Everybody hype up Rin. Okay,
I'm not changing the nameplate. You are Rin with audience plants.
yeah, I was gonna say
God.
Rin with audience plants. Okay, that's a good idea. Anybody else wanted allies in particular? Again, not combat
0.
oriented, just 0. Okay. Sam, were you looking for?
Oh.
These are not. They cannot be sacrificed. I will say, like you're. If
Well,
you're looking for sasacrifices, we'll move on to your followers. Your
Okay,
follower.
move on. Golly.
Move on.
What?
Then. Move along then. Move along then. Okay, fine.
hear me out.
Uh-huh.
Sacrifices. Sacrificed livestock.
Yeah, the ponies. That's the pony, right? I think that's
Ponies.
literally
Yep.
the pony getting sacrificed.
Yep.
So
I don't know.
as you do.
Here for
as
it.
you do.
As you do.
Okay, so no
As you do.
allies. Seemingly moving on. Next, we'll be going to contacts. Similar to allies, this is purely for information, not resources, a specific field of expertise. I would say even something like, what equipment is the other person wearing? Where are they going to be next? Right? When is the next objective changing? And therefore, I should be on this side of the arena at this time when it happens, right? Could be a really useful use of the context. Anybody for again? This would be 2, 4, and 6. Anybody for context here?
None. Well,
None.
Yeah.
none.
Let's get to the followers.
None. You got it. Educated. 2 points. You are educated. You have obvious schooling, eloquence, and etiquette, and you gain +1 to reactions when encountering other higher castes, educated or scholarly people. Furthermore, you only suffer a -1 penalty to lore skills that you are untrained in. So if Sam, for example, if there's many types of mysticism and you only choose a couple, your penalty would be much low, not as bad, right? From -3 to -1 for this. Because if you do anything with a skill that you're untrained in, I'm pretty sure the penalty is -3. So this would bring that down to -1, a lot easier. Would you like educated? It's only 2 points.
Yeah, I'm very educated.
I'm very educated. Thank you very much.
I'm a smart cookie.
Here's my clown college diploma.
Educated. Just holding the
got it out of a
diploma
cereal.
upside down, like.
I got it out of
That's
a
how
cereal
smart
box
people
called.
do it.
I got it out of a cereal box called Voidos, and that's it's at the bottom. But at the bottom of the box, there was just a black liminal space and then I reached my hand and then inevitably my whole body into the box, and I pulled out the diploma that I needed.
That's how she became void marked.
Okay, your favorite
Took him off the
follower. 6 points per follower.
Oh my god.
Has a loyal follower such as a dedicated servant, a devoted disciple, or a lovesick admirer, willingly, very dutiful, and more than willing to endanger his or her own life for you if required, right? So if you want to, how many sacrifices in people would you like for points? Is basically.
I will message you that because this is also a tournament, and I don't want people to know how many sacrifices I have.
Good idea, right? Some X amount of sacrifices for Sam.
A number
Let's
between
say
1 and the max number I could possibly have.
Yeah.
That seems relevant. Okay, I like that.
There's at least one. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm. So the following one is many humans are the offspring of mixed parentage, and so for human and another cosmic species, if you wanted attributes such as claws, wings, talons, little pug tails, anything similar, you would need to take this background for the future, right? And this is called Half-Blood, where it would only cost a single point, right? Where you would pay 1 point, get Half-Blood, and then now you'd be able to, with your points, buy additional attributes that would make you different. Was anybody looking to have a cosmic parent of any sort?
Nope.
No? All right. Seemingly not. Moving on. Next
Very
on,
straightforward. Believe me.
Next on, we'll be moving to local. For slime. Yeah, slimy. Yeah. Slimy happened. There's an anime that I really like about a slime, and now that's all I can think about. Okay. Local, 2 points. Where you're really familiar with a certain, oftentimes it's used to be like you really know the district of the city that you're in. You know all the sideways, all the pathways, people within the city. And so basically, mechanically, it gives you a +1 to all direction, lore, reputation, and response rolls when in or with regards to the chosen region or culture. Effectively, each of you could pick local, choose the district Derbitan, and as long as it's physically in Derbitan, which can change sometimes, you will have a +1 to many different types of roles. Response roles being like the biggest, but reputation can be helpful if Rin is trying to appeal to the arena crowd, for example. Does anybody want local?
I've already chosen local.
Rin and No Bones
Fairly
local.
local.
Just
I've been around.
you're literally in the sewers. I know what the above place is like. Okay, thank
I can
you.
tell
You
from
know,
what's coming down here what it's
Ye-
up like.
I know
up
what they
there.
eat.
I was
It's curly work.
I thought it was too gross to say, but yeah, that makes perfect sense as to what would be happening, which is pretty funny.
Some
Okay.
not the brave action here.
I was going to say Lentor. Local is perfect for you. Moving on, so that'll be 2 points. Moving on, we'll be going to Mentor, 6 points, just like Follower. And this is kind of like that your coach, you know? Put me in, coach. This is the coach, not the player. Put me in player. Where you purchase a coach, essentially, and they're able to like, wow, come on, from the sidelines, you know, hey, get over there, don't forget the X tactic, you know, and like really helping you out with every possible, it's just a lot of hype, and will also use their own network of contacts or allies to assist you. It's kind of like having a mini contact, a mini ally, right? Or a kind of all-in-one if you were if you were unsure about picking any of the other ones. Pretty solid. Anybody looking for Mentor?
Could we
Rin-
swap the contact for the mentor?
Oh, yeah. Or you mean the allies, the 4 points in ally
Yeah.
for 6 points for Mentor? Yeah, great idea. So you would just pay 2 more than you already did, and then we'll change it into a Mentor. And then I'll work with you before session to create a Mentor that's that feels like this person's been with Rin, for a while, right? And you've been preparing for it. Okay.
Can you sacrifice a mentor?
I'm sure that the trust that the Mentor has for you would be make it much easier to convince them to give up their lifeblood for your vase of sanguineous desires. Sure, right? Like,
So that's the quote.
reasonable.
That's the quote.
That's the quote. Sanguineous desires. It's the most vampire thing ever. It's great. Okay. You could, so you can get, however many followers and 1 mentor, and you can kind of have both if that's what you're interested in doing. I'll leave that to you. Next up, we will have residences, and that would be 3, 6, or 9. You can basically have a house. And this does nothing for the arena except, for you, like, it's literally just a base for you and your party to come back to. This, you could literally just spend points on this and be like, I don't, who cares, right? You don't own any property. I'm like a real person.
Need to
You're
spend
not.
points on residence?
But you want to. If you want a house. So 3 would be a damp and dark underground dwelling, or like a small space of some sort. You're like, oh. Yo, what? 6 would be 1 decent. It's like really particular. It's like 1 nice room or 2 bad rooms, and then 9 is like 3. It's just 3 nice rooms. So it's almost like, and then you could contextualize that as a hovel outside of the city, a house within the city, or like an apartment built and a Bronze Age apartment building, and you own a couple rooms that are for you, right? So that is that. Anybody for a residence?
Although it is.
A hovel, yeah. Okay, so you're getting 3 points on a hovel. Nice. Okay, yeah. And if maybe if anybody can teleport you, the safest place to go would be to your hovel. So if you want to stop for a second and you figure out a way to do that, that seems to be the, to prevent Sam's followers from stabbing you at the public place that you would get teleported to, and just be safe for a little while.
You can be stabbed in your house.
like a normal
That is
place.
true.
And yeah, please check out, by the way, the Weave the Tail Discord. Of course, if you want to hop on and play some Weave the Tail, some stuff like Black Void or other games, we play stuff every week. In fact, me in particular, running a lot more stuff than I used to. And of course, check out the Black Void Discord. I was on there recently today looking for cool ideas and concepts art. And there's a new minis Kickstarter coming out sometime, so please check that out. I'm personally hoping for the Anunnaki to be a mini in that Kickstarter. So, Black Boy, check it out. I really love this game. I'm having a great time with it. So, standing for a second. Back to it. Reputation. 2 to 6 points. 2 points, 4 points, 6 points. Basically, reputation based on infamy, acclaim, or another kind of prominence that can lead to benefiting from sycophants, from different sycophants that you have at your side, and social parasites, as well as other, just the people kind of being on your side. Rin, reputation of 6 points, because I feel like that's what you're going to pick. The character is known in whole communities of up to a few thousand people and may add a +1 modifier to socialize with or influence this group. So you can also do 4 points, kind of for the same thing. Add a +1 modifier when socializing with this group, but it's only a few hundred individuals. So I would say like 6 is if you're trying to appeal to the whole city, and 4 if you're trying to appeal to only the people within the arena. And so and I guess what I mean by that is within the arena, there'll be some people that go there often, and some others that it's just their first time. If you wanted to capture the people who's it's just their first time, I would go with the 6. Yeah, perfect. This is the exact paragraph. And then 2 kind of does nothing. You're just known. You're just yeah. You're not from around here, but I am. This is 4 and 6 really provide mechanical benefit.
I'm gonna hold on to reputation until we see some of the other stuff and see how many I want to pump in.
It's pretty solid because there's some that are similar, so that's not a bad idea. Resources, okay, and this is straight up just money, essentially. It's just money. You can buy money, and this would be 3. Yeah, this would be 3 or 6. 3 for well-off, 6 for prosperous. That you gain this money in Lynn through either prohibited or legitimate means, dealing with contraband, selling merchandise, fencing, or having inherited wealth, depending on what your caste is and how that fits. 3 points would be 1d12 times 10 copper din. I'm sorry, that was the currency din, or and some assets, basically up to 500 copper din. This is a really, really good way, resources, if you wanted to purchase sacrifices or in the form of beasts, to kind of you could really afford a pony stable with this, for example, right? So one potential option, and then for 6, it would be 1d12 times 25. So it'd be 1.5 times more, right? Than 2.5. I'm not good at math. 2.5 times.
It's cash money. Cash money in your pocket.
It's cash money. It's cash or cash money. I'll leave that.
Yeah.
Anybody with resources immediately or wanting to wait, maybe.
I will have resources.
3 or 6.
Probably 6. I gotta buy lots of ponies.
Gotta buy lots of ponies. Okay. D12 times 25. Plus what you get from your caste. Plus the arena combatants 300 din.
I don't know how many points I've lost, but not a lot.
Bunch of money.
I'm well off.
I'm well.
No Bones has no idea why. No Bones has no idea why he's got money, but not questioning it. Gonna get a weapon.
Money does a lot. Money does a lot. Throw it as a distraction. Just throw it on the ground. Ooh, piece of money.
Oh my gosh! Yes. You thought it was sand in your eyes, but it is gold.
Pocket gold, yeah, pocket din. You just throw it at people. It's a great idea.
Oh my gosh.
That'd actually be pretty not a bad strategy to just throw money around while people. It would probably distract someone as you're moving through the arena. If you're quick, here's 300, and just
Oh god.
What?
Yeah, because No Bones has been poor forever. So money means nothing to them.
Nothing.
No Bones just throws it. Like you want your copper, take your copper.
What is this crap metal? Like you just throw it away. Like,
Yeah.
It's like,
And it's just like a crowd swarms. Look at all those bones.
And then maybe they tear someone apart, right? Like
The
you don't know
blood
what can happen.
sucks.
if they happen to trample someone, like, no
Look, if you
sweat
see me
off
walking out with a
my
couple
back.
of cracked femurs, you didn't. That's what I'm trying to say.
You
So-
didn't.
Maybe
Oh.
I need to like team up with No Bones. Like you can keep the bones, I will keep the blood, and we could have some sort of arrangement.
He's no bones. But he's no bones. Arrangement.
Yeah,
I don't
make
need
no
the
deals.
whole. I don't need the whole pony, but the honor dictates that we have to use the whole pony, and I need another way to do that. That's funny. Okay, status 3, 6, or 9, similar to reputation. However, it is not really based in modifiers. It's based in, because there's no modifiers tied to it, it's almost stronger. Right? Because it's not like, oh, do this roll and then this happens. It's almost like you're guaranteed something. I'll read you the top and we'll go down from there. 9 is that the character is part of leadership within a group. Right? So if you wanted to be the leader, I don't know, like the arena planning committee, and and there's no conflict of interest within you, like with you being
We're
there
the
and
old
also
man.
being a combatant.
You're the old man. You're just you're vibing. You're just there to have a good time, like hang out for a little bit, and then tap out whenever you want. Like,
Oh, what nice peasants! Let me in. I'm just gonna see,
that is
whatever,
fun.
like-
Reminds me of my
Yeah.
youth.
Whoa, this guy is on the wrong side of history, but yeah, that's exactly what it is. 3 would be limited authority within the group, and 6 is influential, though not leadership. So I'd say with something like 3, you would have a high difficulty roll regarding something that you wanted to do with them. 6, you would have a lower difficulty roll regarding something with the group, whatever group that may be, and 9 would be like basically no, almost no roll, right? Like doesn't require it. You command people to do something and they do it, because if not, they get the chopping block or something. So anybody looking for status, like Rin, were you thinking of status or reputation? Maybe both, or what?
This is I'm in quite the pickle here.
It is.
Ah.
It is.
Because the idea of moving an entire city to my cause is very funny.
Yeah, it's the people. So yeah, reputation's for the people, and status is for like the leaders, right? So it's or both if you wanted both.
Well, Rin's a woman of the people, so I guess we'll go with reputation.
Reputation, gotcha. Okay, so and you're doing reputation 6 or
I think
reputation
so.
4?
I think so.
I would say that you can. I will say that for the purposes of our arena, like I would say you can do 4 and probably get the same benefit. So you can keep 2 points to do something else.
Then,
right?
Then I will do.
Yeah, because everybody in the arena, a couple hundred people's everybody in the arena. That's fine. Okay, next up, something that only one person's gonna take. I'm pretty sure. Void marked. Human. ooh, piece of candy me. Ooh, Eldritch, please me. Void marked. Human, but not entirely human. Void marked characters have been affected by the effects of the veil of cosmic reality in one way or another one. Those who have been influenced have strange warping effects from void traveling, are the offspring of human and demonic beings, and those who have attained ascension. Because of their diverse backgrounds, they vary, and what they do also varies. Voidmark characters have regular and esoteric attributes and acquire mystic powers. So this is a great way to unlock a whole new type of attribute. So now you don't have, this is almost like Half-Blood. Like attributes was for Half-Blood, and now esoteric attributes are for Voidmarked. Which instead of being a human and a different parentage, you'd be a human and tentacle person. No bones, right? No bones. Definitely not.
Just be like black
Okay,
eyes.
and then you can get
No
some mystic
bones.
powers and stuff too.
Really creepy.
Very, very creepy. Very creepy.
Someone say.
So we're gonna go. We're done with background, and those are like, oh, you look. Oh my god, that's actually horrifying. I was really worried for a second. I was like, yo, did someone take your eyes, like, for a minute? And it took me a second to process what was going on. Okay, I got it. That makes sense. It really is worth the warping and void corruption wombat pause. It really is. So done with background. That's really what makes our characters our characters. We're gonna go back to the quick start here, and we're just gonna look at a couple of talents. There are many, many, and I will probably work with everyone here to look at some of the core book talents later. But I think there's too many to cover for this session 0. So we'll just look at some of the basic ones and think about if anybody wants to purchase them. All right. So here's the thing about talents. Talents, and actually, I think, Sam, you can find that on page 7 of the quick start, and then it'll be like basically like the whole page rather than at the bottom. It's there, but just down. So talents are connected to a certain trait, although I don't think that the... Oh, it does. Okay, cool. So that actually is right there. Yeah, boom. Actually, no, that's perfect. So it tells you what trait the actual talents are under. So for agility, you'd be fast reflexes and ambidextrous, awareness, direction sense, and vigilant, so on, right, for each of these. In order to purchase a talent, you must already have a trait level of 3 in the trait that you want to purchase the talent for. In addition, each talent costs 3 points. For example, Rin, if you wanted like the presence perks, or the present perks, talents, inspiring and charmer, that would be 6 points total. But I'll just read them really quick. Like, so inspiring, add +1 to all reaction rolls and attempts to influence, impress, or sway others. So roll better when you try and affect somebody, right? This is pretty helpful for your idea of trying to sway the crowd. It would just make that one step easier. And 1 is worth a lot more in a D12 system than it is on a D20 system, for example, right? So that's not a 5% increase. It's significantly more. As for the other one was Charmer, a +1 to anything involving seduction, socializing, inquiry, and performance. So if you did a performance that was intended to sway others, you could use both at the same time and add +2 to that roll, right? That you would get. So that just some thought process on that to be sacrificed. For you, No Bones, I would say that something like agility, like fast reflexes or ambidextrous would be really funny. Ambidextrous is like if you lose your arm, you could use the other one for the same club and be just as proficient with it. Is a pretty...
Oh yeah. Yeah, femur in the left hand, femur in the right hand.
Don't matter.
Same to me.
It's a Bones day. It's gonna be a Bones day.
Let's go.
I'm dead. All right, I'm back.
Okay, and for the other one, for agility, it'd be fast reflexes, +1 to all initiative and dodge rolls, right? So you're even faster, right? Dodging is just like in most other RPGs. You do a reaction, predicting a certain outcome, and then when that outcome happens, you dodge and you kind of make it out, right? So I would say that like this is one where I'm not really gonna maybe read out all of them and just be kind of read through whichever ones are important for your traits that you have a minimum of 3 in, and then everybody can just call out some of the traits that they'd be interested in taking.
Yep.
Does anybody have
I'm gonna
any
take.
ideas?
Yeah, I'm taking. I already decided on pain threshold. What with the whole
high pain threshold?
Yeah, the whole calcium thing, and ambidextrous, which means I have equal distrust in the phalanges of both of my hands. And for that, I find a balance. I think that's all I'm taking, though. Because I took a lot of skills, but more on that later.
Anyone else?
Inspiring is very appealing to me. I would
Me too.
pick Charmer, but I feel like that would require me, Darby, to have a quick wit regarding things happening in an arena, to have, quippy one-liners, which I can sometimes do, but not reliably. So we're just gonna have everyone paying attention to me naturally.
You said quick thinker?
Or inspiring, sorry.
Oh, inspiring. Yeah,
I am not a quick thinker. That's where that came.
Oh no, that's
I'm
awesome.
dumb, but
No,
my
that's awful.
character is
You-
very enchanting.
Yeah, that would you'd be very inspiring. At everything that you did. I'm sure. And then, like I said, I'll go over with to see if there's some other presence, talents that you're particularly you really like or whatnot. And what a funny name, Minta Dion. Minta, what intelligence were you thinking about taking? The intellect ones here, or maybe willpower, or maybe awareness? Which of these were you thinking of taking?
I'm sure some of them. I need to take stock of my points with my ponies and my followers. And see how many I left.
So you're saying you want to avoid talents for now in the hopes that you've already spent too many on pony sacrifices, avenues for pony sacrifice?
Yeah, maybe.
So I gotta be bare bones.
'Cause I still have my bloodletting rituals to purchase and stuff, so things will be happening. I might just be rich and just buy things like ponies.
Okay, so we'll be talents.
Who needs talent when you've got money?
Exactly.
The money will
And
be
if No
useful.
Bones is just throwing it, I'll just buy people with the talent and absorb the talent.
Oh my! I will absorb. I will assimilate the talent. Okay.
Yes.
Our talent?
Ow. Okay, so that makes perfect sense.
It does.
Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and the order for character creation goes from we just finished talents. We did backgrounds before talents. Usually it's talents before background, but I felt like doing background first would kind of help you decide what talents you wanted more. So we did that. We are skipping attributes because nobody picked Half-Blood. So no wings or claws or alternative senses or adaptive pigments for anybody here. And then we'll move on. Rin is like, oh my Derbiton. Oh my Lynn the Eternal.
Wings would
No
be
attributes.
so cool. But
Wings would be so
Yeah.
cool. There are maybe there's other ways to fly that don't have to be wings. So
sacrifice a
Fine.
bird.
get launched
Aha!
by a tell your mentor to come in the arena and give you a boost with his hands real quick, and you can jump off him and fly.
Or we use No Bones like a slingshot.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
scoop you out there.
There it is.
Okay, so then it'll be powers, or we'll do powers and then esoteric attributes, I believe. After esoteric attributes, skills, and after skills, equipment, and then that'll be our rough characters for our arena sessions. I'm so excited to see everybody. Okay, powers. Seemingly, I'm pretty sure the only person that's going to want to use these is Minta, so we'll run through them. And that's basically bloodletting, sacrificial divination, and blood right. Okay.
Perfect.
Blood right is 1, sacrificial divination is 3, and bloodletting is 3 as well.
I was gonna go
Or
with
up to 3.
bloodletting, so yeah.
Bloodletting. So so
save
you
it
put
for-
3 in. Yeah, 3 in for ranking 3. So you got. So I'm imagining like blood right 1 for blood rituals, and then bloodletting. I guess it. Well, yeah, actually that's interesting. Because I'm not seeing exactly what blood right. Blood right rankings provide the practitioner with a +1 modifier when trying to carry out a blood ritual of any type. So bloodletting lets you do
Yes.
them. Sacrificial Divination lets you do them, and then Bloodright makes them a little better. So you could do Bloodletting 3, and what that would get you is the Ritualist may perform up to 2 ceremonies per day, and can confer extracted boons to self or one another. If you wanted like one pony that's like the tank pony, and you wanted to put all boons on only a single pony, and make Void Touched pony, be my guest. Right? And, oh, he's so cute. I'm gonna go pet him. Oh my god, he's eating my face. It would be the the thing about the ponies. You may also add 1 to the potency tie and choose the boon freely from the cluster of results. You choose what you want, +1 to get it, and then if for each rank of Bloodright, you can get another one. So, ooh, raids! Hi everybody.
Yes.
Thanks, Dire Bear. We are currently making our characters for an upcoming arena session, set of sessions for Black Void. There are going to be prizes, and whoever wins will have their character immortalized in actually Black Void, in the city of Lynn the Eternal, and everybody will be able to see. I mean, like if No Bones wins, just literally expect to see like a Loincloth Dark Souls character who looks like a dog, like just like just in this game. Right, so anything can happen, right?
That's the bad ending. If No Bones wins, it means something broke.
If No Bones wins, nobody won.
And so we'll have 2 brackets. We have a lot of people signing up. We'll have bracket 1 next Wednesday, bracket 2 the Wednesday after that, and whoever wins each bracket will be fighting off the Wednesday after the 3rd Wednesday from now, to see who for the fight to the death over who will be immortalized in Black Void. So check that out. Did you want any? So you got 3 bloodletting. Did you want any ranks of Bloodright? 1 for 1, 2, 2 for 2, 3 for 3.
Yeah. Well, I'll take 1 in Bloodright and then the other 3 in Bloodletting. Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So that's 4, and you got so that you have a 2+ to all rolls associated with blood rituals. You can do 2 of them per day, and you can choose which of the boons you want to use and who you want to put it on. So lots of freedom. And there might already be some blood ritual boons that people will be able to get, like I said. So if you like hoard them, you can really.
Mm-hmm.
You can, of course, right? The higher caste hoarding resources. What else is new? Like the bloody get bloodier, and the people with bones lose their bones. Okay, move on next to esoteric attributes, and then this will be We have a lot seemingly for Minta, right? A lot of specific
Here we go.
things that can be utilized. I'll find it real quick. Okay. Maybe we can go with this later, but some of them, such as Aerial, this is how you can fly without wings, is Aerial. Just you lift. Ageless. You can be a demon. You can get demon whispers. You can dominate others and possess others, like by So like if one follower's like, I don't want to sacrifice myself, bend, and kneel. And
yes.
You can cause them to do it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. That one.
Domination is 4 points. Mesmerize.
Yeah, I'm out.
There's different
No
ways
Bones
you
can't do it.
No Bones
It's
can't
gone.
do it.
Willpower of 1.
It's
Willpower of 1.
It's a little mess. Willpower of 1. It's a little messed up because there are different ways that you can do it. There's shapeshifter, mesmerize, and multiple faces if you wanted to do like the no face assassin thing and appear as this person's partner or spouse, and if you love me, you'll walk into the red circle, and they will, right? Because they do. You can be a shapeshifter. You can possess others. There's also like regeneration and reincarnation. So there's some really wild ones here as well. So for now, you can just put domination as. Yeah, possession is 3, domination is 4, right? Which I think domination is a little bit stronger, but similar.
Mm-hmm.
We'll stick you with the 1, and then you can keep that, and we'll move on to skills and equipment, right? But we can talk later about esoteric attributes that you would get, which are really, really cool, right? These are like pretty much like the closest thing to like void spells and whatever that you can get. So pretty cool. Okay, we will be moving on now to skills. So the way that, like I said, resolution works earlier, the average target number, or I should say the default target number to meet or exceed is 7. This is the same. This is also true for combat. Hitting someone is usually 7 unless it's modified by their defense value, and that's a little higher or a little lower. So same thing for regular rolls as well. A regular roll is your, whatever you rolled, plus the modifier for your trait, modifier for your skill, modifier for your equipment or any abilities that would be relevant. So for example, Rin earlier, inspiring, that would be a +1 to all things related with that, right? So you do your trait presence, the talent would be inspiring, that would add 1, and then there would also be a skill that is associated with that. Skills are the crunchier part of the game, and so you can kind of pick like which skills this is the best way to kind of, to diversify yourself and pick like what you really want to focus on. The only caveat being that whatever skills you do not have, if you try and perform a roll in that skill, you would get a -3 to the roll, right? Sometimes that won't matter if your other modifiers are high enough, but whatever, just something to keep in consideration. What's this? This is so funny. The goblins that'll eat anything. It sounds like Dungeon Meshi, which is another manga that I really like. But moving on. So we'll go to skills. There are quite a bit of them, and I don't think they can be easily kind of written down. Maybe. I found the table for it. There we go. Yeah, right there. Boom. Thank you so much. No bones. So you have acrobatics all the way down to subterfuge. It is not necessarily, and the associated trait would be anything you roll in that trait, right? So as long as you have, a 3 in that trait, you can get that. You can purchase that skill. Well, that's actually, I'm sorry, that was for talents. This is not, you don't need any minimum. You can just get it. It is 1 point for rank 1 of the skill, 2 points for rank 2 of the skill, 3 points for rank 3 of the skill, and then 3 is the max, right? So total, it would be 6 points to max out 1 skill, right? 1 plus 2 plus 3 is 6 points. What are some skills that everybody was thinking of taking?
I was thinking about taking acrobatics.
Oh, hey, everybody.
I've maxed out on intimidation and acrobatics.
I am maxed out on intimidation and acrobatics. I'm gonna Anakin flip over somebody and stare him down with the triple chin until they submit. I'm sure.
Imagine No Bones being like a slinky down stairs, just like shoop, 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 shoop.
I hate that. Perfect.
Oh yeah, so for rank 0 again, like if you're can't have a trait, lesson 0 has to be minimum 1, and then of course if your skill is 0, you're untrained, then you get a -3, to whatever rolls that you do. So sometimes it might be beneficial to put a 1 in different things, just a 1 just to avoid the penalty, not really to make it better on you if there was anything you think you're going to be doing often. So that's fine for you. Acrobatics and intimidation seems perfect. Rin, what were you thinking about?
I was also thinking acrobatics and probably maybe socialize a little bit.
I think socialize would be the really like useful one for you in particular. Not so much streetwise, although that could be argued to be very similar.
I meant acrobatics. If I said streetwise, that was by accident.
Oh no! You said no socialize. No socialize for this is the second one that you said. But acrobatics is great. Like that's a classic one. Just able to jump around things. I mean, like I said, there's going to be a lot of moving around, different objectives. Athletic. I would recommend that everybody actually get at least 1 point in athletics or acrobatics, so that if you try to run towards something, you don't roll an 8, but then -3 it, and then you fail the roll or whatever the difficulty is. It's also difficult. The reason I say is because in many other games, you're kind of supposed to say what the target number is prior to the roll. The game encourages you not to tell your players what difficulty it is. So it could be like 20, right? And you're like, I just want to pet this kitty, and I'm like, difficulty 20 because it's a god kitty, and it'll eat you if you pet it. You touch his tummy, and now you're ended. You've entered the true void.
It's a flurkin from
A
Marvel.
Yeah, it's
Is that what it's called?
exactly.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what it's called. It takes your eye, and you can no longer be too eyed.
Hey, but then you become the head of organization.
Head of Shield, yeah. So it's worth it.
So it's
Brilliant.
1 point to get to Dabbler, and then 2 points to get a +1 bonus to something for the skill.
Yeah, exactly. So the way that they characterize it is untrained dabbler, initiate, novice, and apprentice. So actually, I wasn't correct about that. My bad. Rank 0 is 1 point for no extra modifier. It just 1 point to take away the negative of the skill. It doesn't put you at rank 1 like I thought that it did. Sorry, yeah. So
everything costs one more.
Yeah, so it would actually be a lot more expensive. Thank you. Thank you for mentioning the name because that is quite an oversight. But it'll be 1, 3, 6, 10. It's 10 to max 1 skill, which is quite a lot. However, at the same time,
it's 7. It's 7 to max. So it's 1, 1, 2, 3.
Oh no, because I'm looking at the cost table and it says 2 for initiate, and then 3 for novice, and then 4 for apprentice. So 10 total if you're adding 1, 2, 3, 4.
Because you have to buy the previous.
Yeah, exactly. Because you have to own the previous rank before you can get it.
Great.
It's funny that being the maxed rank and you're still only an apprentice. It's like you're not even like master, grandmaster. You're like, oh, I kind of know.
There's always someone who'll run faster than you.
Description mastered, but the designation is apprentice. So
I feel like I need to take subterfuge.
Remember, +3 is huge. I mean, any mod in a D12 system is going to be way more than a D20 system. So +3 is like, you could basically get half your target number and essentially still succeed if it's close enough, right? Because if you get like a 4 and the TN is still 7 and I haven't modified it, if you're an apprentice, regardless of what your trait is, like you already succeeded. Although remember, you are adding your trait as well, so you could kind of get like a 1 or a 2 and still pass the 7 roll, depending. So that can be really useful. 10, yeah, 10 is a lot more. Subterfuge for Minta, I think subterfuge would be great for you. Misleading people, creating forgeries, disguises. If you dominate or someone, or use the face shifting. Oh, I love you. You're my partner. Please walk into the red circle. Okay, I will.
Please.
You'll be fine.
I really believe you.
Totally
I know I'll be safe, and then.
Just remember, I would never send you into danger.
I wouldn't go where I wouldn't go myself. You're right.
Yeah.
I trust you. I know you only have my best interest in mind. So that would be skills. And so that kind of wraps up. And that kind of wraps up like all the usages of points. And then yeah. But there are 12 ranks in the skill. Yeah, there are. It's quite a lot. You have to pay quite a lot. So we're using the quick start, and that's why it goes up to it. But yeah, you can really go up there with the skills. I'd say that skills are like the biggest drain. Like, if we're talking about like a gold economy drain, like this is where you put the majority of your leftover points. If you wanted to work in a particular way. So. It's kind of it for skills.
Cool.
You can do more, but I imagine everybody wants to put it in different places. That kind of wraps up everything that we had for points. Does anybody have any leftover points that they do not plan to use on Like, maybe they're deciding between two things to do the same thing. Does anybody have any points that they don't know what to do with?
I got 1 point left over, and I don't know what to do with it. Actually, I'll just put it in a thing.
A rank
I
0
need better
skills?
stats. I'm gonna take my willpower to
What?
2.
Okay. 2.
It won't help you.
Yeah, the
Beer is the mind filler.
willpower of a sewer rat was maybe not. It wasn't comfortable to read on the PDF, so I decided to bump it up. So it's that of a small child.
The willpower of the willpower of a rat is not sufficient. So now that I'm
This is
4
gonna
years
be like
old, I think I can handle it.
Survivor. Somebody's gonna be playing. We got people playing the social game. We got people who are just like good at like doing.
Yeah,
things.
exactly. And I really like that idea that everybody's bringing some different thing to the table, because the only objective is to stay alive. You don't actually have to kill anybody, and people will just drop as time goes on and things happen, right?
Yeah.
So if
All
you're
dead. It just happens.
just fall over, yeah, losing it, which is great.
Wow. It's like, oh, who put that
This
weapons
is
table up
fantastic.
there? Dang.
Yeah. So
Weird.
after skills, we will be moving on to equipment. Equipment, basically, same thing, tells you, what to roll. And this is the only part of the game where it's not going to be using 1d12 standard. It'll be, like standard, fantasy weapons, mix and matching, and kind of which one you like more. So, for example, battle axe 2d6, a bow is 1d6, but it has a range. It also pierces through armor, right? And so the last of the gold, but actually at this point, Ian, if you don't mind, could you pull up the table of contents on the core book and go to the equipment section, and we'll see where we want to go first. And then we'll do weapons and armor last, because I'm sure people want to buy some wild stuff before they spend their hard-earned din on ye olde sword.
Ye olde sword.
Ye olde sword.
I love it.
Okay. Higher?
All right.
Almost there.
Where is this here equipment?
Almost there. Up one more page, and on the right side.
Wait.
Okay. A little higher. A little higher. I'm sorry, 2 pages up. I was wrong. It's a big book.
Keep moving. Keep moving.
Right.
Keep moving.
All right, right there. No,
The
we're
Elder
good.
Scrolls.
Okay.
All right.
It's
75.
75.
Page 75. Jump.
Yeah. We don't have to go there. Oh, well.
We're going there.
We're there.
The reason I was asking is because I wanted to see if anybody wanted to pick something before their weapons. Again, because this would be purchased with Din. So some of the categories are, for example, services of labor, beasts of burden, pets and domestic animals, infusions and teas, physician's tools, scribe tools, containers, like, the general section, which in some RPGs might be kind of like fodder, but in this game, in an arena setting, everything matters. Yeah,
Sacrifices?
So,
Sacrifice?
are we doing sacrifices first?
What?
Are we doing sacrifices? No. Someone said sacrifices.
Sacrifice?
One of us is
So
looking
for
for literal
sacrifices.
fodder.
For sacrifices, we can go to either page 85 or 90.
Oh.
85 on the
85?
PDF. Yeah. So,
I have tools.
Scribe's tools would be useful. Yeah.
No.
There we go.
All right, it
Right.
didn't
So
take-
these are
There.
so these are some pets, right? You don't have to purchase
I have so
beasts
much
of burden.
money.
Yeah, you have so much money. That's what I'm trying to say, right? So because you have so much money, kind of want to give you something to use it. You can purchase cheap pets if you wanted sacrifices, but if you wanted them to do things, you can also just buy a real pet. So you can have you can separate animals for sacrificing animals, friend animals, or food animals.
I am a horrible person,
Pets
I
are
am
friends
realizing.
and food.
Contrary to the vegan code.
I'm going complete opposite. My goodness. So if we go down to page 88, you can get services. Oh, and it says
You can get services.
bloodletting ritual. So say I bought
Hold on
a
to your bones. There it is.
Oh my god, it's literally a pile of bones. It's literally a pile of bones that you can do this with. I will have blood ritualists in the arena doing the blood rituals. That's how I was gonna do it. You can hire them if you don't want to, like, let's say you don't want to do it yourself and you want to hire somebody to do them and confer your bonuses for bloodletting to them. That would be something you could do, right? And be 100 plus each ritual, how much you wanted to pay. So you could buy them a lot. Unfortunately, you could buy scribe, like, you know, I'm starting, you know, I hate saying this, but a scribe is cheaper than a slave, so it'd be more beneficial to you to sacrifice an educated person than somebody who has the position of a slave. It would be more cost effective to do so.
There we go. There we go.
You want extra credit on your class?
Your
You come with me.
sacrifice. Extra credit.
Extra credit.
That sounds great.
In heaven.
You're like a leader of a faction. You're like this high caste person. They're like, oh, this is the ticket to the big life. Like, I'm never gonna want for anything after this. And like,
The big life in the sky.
The big void
I
in
need
the
to
sky.
reassess my life choices. This.
So we have services. You also, everybody can purchase, if we go down to like 2 pages, we can go down to Beasts of Burden. And these are creatures that you can actually ride or sick on people at the start of the game. So Minta has so much... I mean, but it's true though. I mean, it's what it is. So Minta has so much money, she can purchase... She can have a whole entourage when she gets there. Followers, pets to sacrifice, good chicken, bad chicken, you know, like...
No chicken. Chicken's illegal.
Beast of chicken is legal. Beast of Burden to sick at people, a bloodletting ritualist who is doing it, sacrificing the scribes that she hired to enter, you know, with domination or possession to, you know, just get them on in there, right? So the combination of
I'm just
currency
literally
related
going to
things.
be chilling in like a chase lounge while I have my Beasts of Burden like wall in front of me that people will have to fight through to get through, and then there's just going to be all this blood everywhere. Oh my god, this is fantastic.
For max sacrifice, right? No bones.
Yeah.
Were you thinking about purchasing a Beast of Burden with your? Because I imagine you're not going to need the greatest equipment. You won't be able to purchase much. The availability of an item is, it's dependent on like what caste you are and like what you're able to purchase. You know, it's more likely for you to have rarer things at a higher caste and poorer things at a lower caste. So, for example, no bones, even though you have like a lot of cash, you know, starting. You might find yourself either uncomfortable with or unwilling to purchase higher rarity things, and so you might elect to purchase loincloth for -2 you know, when they hit you. But you could spend that money on purchasing, you know, an oxen or a riding beetle, you know, or even a drought beetle and a massive beetle if you want to throw beetles at people.
Can you ride
does
in
anybody
on a
have any?
beetle?
Yeah, no, of course, especially the bigger ones, you know, like you could not get knocked off as easily.
Oh no!
Did
bones,
anybody
just
have
riding in
any-
on a beetle.
For the aminals, for the beasties, the beastie boys.
So no bones is releasing all the animals from the cruelty of Minta, and is leading the exodus. Would be
There it is. There it is.
There it
No
is.
Beasts of Burden.
There's the inspiration.
But the Zacopia is so cute.
Did anybody have anything in particular they were like really interested in buying apart from Minta sacrificial things? No bones ring. Anything that you'd really like to buy?
Is there an animal table so I can see the? I don't have.
Yeah,
my
the
gosh.
regular pets. Yeah, of course. I think that's
The-
page.
The art is so cute. 91.
The art is so good. Yeah. Yeah, it's 85. The pets and domestic animals is 85 on the
Oh,
PDF.
I'm just looking at the pictures.
No, you're good.
Sorry.
Ian, do you mind?
I'm getting nothing but a
changing?
weapon.
Nothing but a weapon. Can we move on over to the pets and domestic animals section real quick so Rin can see what
Yes.
animal
What page is that?
to purchase? 85.
So we can, yes.
Yeah, I'll just take
The
a
Elder
picture.
Scrolls out here.
It is.
Slow.
It is.
There it is.
So we got guard, hunting, messenger, trained, domestic, and exotic.
Does it say how big they can be?
No, but if we assume that this is like Bronze Age role playing, if you pick an exotic one, I will, which is obviously way more expensive than anything else on here. Like I would be willing to give that animal like a particular, unique stat block or find something different about it. You could probably have something bigger, right? If you can, if there's a really fun one and it doesn't match to any of these except exotic, go for it and we'll, I won't let your din go to waste. I guess it'll be fully utilized in the creation of what it is.
I'm just trying to think what this person would probably spend almost everything they have to get just something truly outrageous that will just draw everyone's attention.
Ooh, okay.
You know what I mean?
That's
just
that's really cool. I'd say that there's probably what I think would be really easy for us to do is like later on we can go through this actual creature stat blocks, and we can look at like which one you think would be the most beneficial to really grab people's attention and might help you in your performances. And they might be able to help attack, or something, just like a hunting or a guard, a guard animal would. I think it says right there, some animals are naturally protective and serve as guardians and companions, right? And so that would be like a normal, so like a dog, but an exotic pet, you could have the same thing, but it's like a giant bird with two heads and, sphinx-like or something. I think the suggestion earlier was also appropriately a void pug named Voodle.
Void pug.
Voodle.
Voodle, right? So that's Voodle would probably have some sort of esoteric attributes, or would be void marked, or could participate in mysticism in some way. Would be a fun thing to do also, right? So it doesn't
Voodle
just have to be
sit.
physically.
Just says, Voodle speak. Yeah. Just like
the unintelligible eldritch, the mutterings. Oh my god.
boy.
Amazing.
Yes, I will noodle on this Voodle idea.
So we will ruminate on potential, pets and beasts of burden. Just keep in mind that your den can be used for other things apart from weapons and equipment, right? In case you wanted to save something. I think that's probably more of a thing for Rin and Minta than it is for Caste's No Bones. But you never know when there's no bones. And then we can move on to the weapon and then the armor section to finish up our equipments here. There's also like teas and infusions if Minta's interested, or Rin if you want poisons. Yeah, there's poisons. Yeah, there's poisons. You can poison people to make. I'm sure there's a poison to make people more docile, and just inject a little happy juice and then walk in the red circle. Anything to get them in the circle, whatever works. The cheapest, most efficient.
Is there gonna be a real red circle? Because I'm feeling like that's your way of saying that there's absolutely gonna be a real legitimate red circle.
Red circle.
Anyway, here's weapons.
Anyway, here's weapons. Yeah, it could take many forms. We can go to page 94 of the weapons list. Yeah, right there. Perfect. Mm-hmm.
Look at that.
I looked back and it was already there. Yeah. No Bones, to start with you. What weapon did you want?
All right, I'm getting a battle axe of superior quality. It's going to cost 300, deals 2d6 damage. Next.
That's exactly what you can do.
I understoed the
Knew
assignment.
exactly
That's all
what
I'm
you
going to
were
say.
going for.
They do
yeah.
come.
I was in the
they
right
do
line at
come
this
in-
DMV.
Yeah, they do come in different quality, and that's something that I really, really like about about Black Void is that they can come and you can kind of like add customizations to the weapons as well. And so, for example, like No Bones, you can actually add an extended shaft to the battle axe, and that would increase its range and its size by 1, right? And so there's like different add-ons as well. You can you're like whoa, whoa, yeah, you're like whoa. It's
Oh,
It's
I can
really
get it boneless?
Can I get my bone axe boneless, please? I will take the milk steak over hard. And so that's exactly what that is. Yeah, so that's the modifier for the cost adjustment. Basic, no adjustment. If it's poor, you could it's half the cost, but it's 1 less worse, which is honestly not that bad. If you don't have the din and you want to spend the din on something else, and you already have like a good stat for it, -1 penalty isn't really the worst. Such as in the same way that +1 modifier isn't necessarily the best, and it's 5 times what it's worth, which is why the battle axe that No Bones is purchasing is 300.
I don't even know how much we have. I think I have 300. I have
Left
500, I believe.
500. Oh, you have to roll
Yeah.
for some of it. I don't know if you did already. It's 300 plus your cast, which is, got nothing.
0.
You get nothing for your
Zilch.
0 for your cast. Yep. And then if there's anything else, if you wanted to, half its cost or something, you could, kind of make it a little cheaper that way, and that's something else. Rin?
Would a mentor be able to provide weaponry?
A weapon? Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think that's a really reasonable thing to assume, especially because 6 points is a lot. So I don't want to give anybody, I don't want anybody taking a mentor or follower and not feel like they're getting their 6 points out of it. So it's kind of like whatever you need, ask your mentor, and like they will at least provide. It might not be exactly what you're looking for, but it'll be something to defend you, and it won't be like a falling apart weapon. Like it won't be.
It will be passive.
Yeah, you're not a casteless person getting a follower who is somehow less of a cast than you are, and it's like I put some 2 sticks together and some sludge. This is now an axe, right? Like, you got a piece of flint. So, if you didn't want to spend money on a weapon, and we're kind of looking for like a weapon grab bag, asking your mentor, like, throw me my weapon, coach, and then whatever it is, it's a piece of glass, it's some wood, it's a pick, it's a hand axe, right? Whatever it would be.
Rin's only requirement: one-handed and flashy. Like
One-handed and flashy,
that's it.
great.
Yep.
I'm thinking I already have some ideas, and whip and flail are already 2 great ones.
Whip would be
but
for someone with
you
an
can do the full
exotic
Ivy.
pet. Yeah.
Would a whip be an exotic pet?
No, but someone with an exotic pet, doing.
Oh
trips
yeah,
and stuff,
like the lion
but, like-
tamers and have like a whip.
Yeah. Or if I'm on top of my pet, like say the pet is large enough to like be on top of, like the whip would be great to hit from not super close.
I memean, depending on the beast, if it's a beetle, they have, like you said, an exoskeleton. It's a Bones Day always for the beetles, right? And so if you can do the Soul Calibur Ivy thing and put thorns on the whip and cause it to like really lodge in somebody, and when you pull, like that's their whole shtick coming out, like their whole skeleton. Maybe
Yeah.
you could debone
Oh,
somebody.
God.
That would be so cool, because also I loved Ivy's weapon in Soul Calibur.
Right? It's so cool.
It's a
I love
float.
it.
It's range. It's whatever. It's very flexible.
You could and so you can even request to your mentor to add a certain enhancement or not. So you could be like, hey, could you get me spikes? Yeah, so it's called spikes shards. It's uncommon, so it's not difficult to get. +1 damage on whatever it is, right? So that's one way to do Ivy.
So
To
then
do
I'm
Ivy's
looking
whip.
sharp.
Looking literally, very literally, and then so is the person you hit. Minto, what about you?
So, I am going to purchase 6 black orbs, 6 orbs,
Wow,
glass
okay.
orbs,
Okay, glass
Um,
orbs.
glass orbs, filled with the night root poison,
Oh
um,
my god.
What?
which
You
once
understood the assignment also.
I also understood the assignment. That once it comes in contact with the bloodstream, it will cause the person to lose their sight, and if they do not get it looked at or cured, they will lose their sight permanently.
Which is huge. Which is huge. Like, it is an awful penalty for partial or complete blindness.
She only has 6 of them. It's fine.
I don't know if you knew this
So
about me, Minta, but I have an extreme it's like the only thing I'm really scared of, an extreme phobia to broken glass. So the thought of somebody getting an orb and just throwing it at somebody, shattering, and then blood entering their bloodstream and they go blind is actually nightmare fuel that I completely expect to see in a game like Black Void.
In the rare chance that you get the opportunity to do that, I will give you whatever I can to give you some sort of advantage on your attempt to make this
Oh my
happen to me
God.
for the
Wait, no.
for the horror. Because I want to win. I don't need my eyes. I haven't needed bones. I will eyes. If I'm winning this, I'm doing this analog with my 2 flappy rubbery hands and a battle axe between them.
Eyes are like the bones of vision. You don't need them.
Exactly. And for
Bones
that,
of vision. What? Okay. It's horrifying. That's straight up very horrifying for me. So that's a great thing to do it with. You are also able to add enhancements to them if you wish. Like I think you already bought.
It's a glass orb.
Yeah, I mean, because you can add like poison grooves, so you can poison whatever enemy, whatever thing you want. So yours is, in particular is fine because you can fill it with a thing. But if you wanted to like coat the outside with poison too, you could do that. If you wanted to add spikes on the side, you could do that. If you wanted a strap,
Spike
I
it.
keep that thing on me. I keep that I keep that strap on me, and you use it to slingshot. For strong,
I can get a slingshot.
range.
Oh my god.
Yeah, for more range. Yeah, because what's better than a catapult glass orb than a trebuchet glass orb, right? We all know trebuchets are better, right? Increase that range.
Right.
Get that range.
All right.
up.
And I need a sacrificial dagger, so that too.
I need one. I need a sacrificial dagger. Makes perfect sense.
Glass
You can
and
add poison to that
daggers.
too. Yeah, broken glass and daggers sounds awful. Okay, that basically brings us to the end of character creation. We now have fully fleshed out characters in fighting to the death inside the Maston Canal Arena of the District Dare Bitan of Lin, the Eternal City. And it's going to be really fun. I'm only going to give one real spoiler, about the arena. This will be that it is a 3 amphitheater arena. So whoever plays bracket 1 will only be fighting in amphitheater 1. Whoever fights bracket 2 will have 2 amphitheaters to switch from. So if there's like a whole fight happening in the other amphitheater and you just don't want to deal with it, you can just walk through the gate and revert back to another one, run away, reconvene, get the blood ritual boon there, set up your army of poison chickens that you're going to throw at somebody, whatever wild stuff people end up making. If you want to like punish Link for picking up chickens and throwing them at bases, you can poison your chickens. Whatever. And then in the third bracket, with the last 2 winners, all 3 amphitheaters will be open. The largest crowd will be there, and there'll be the most, kind of space and objectives to move between. So it's gonna be, the whole city's gonna come out to watch it. Everybody's gonna come, to see it. Yeah. So once again, first bracket, 1 amphitheater. Second bracket, 2 amphitheaters. Third bracket, all 3 amphitheaters. and whatever objectives, poisons, monsters, beasts of burden, followers, sacrifices, and boons that are in those particular spaces. There's going to be a lot of pose tests, black eyes, clearly, both with the punches and actual void eyes, like the absence of light. No Bones might end up doing that to himself as well. We'll see how that goes. We have Rin able to, a serf on the rise, able to appeal to the higher castes with nothing but pure charisma and wit, with the heart completely fully open to the void of the realm. And Minta, like actual warlock shit, actual like, please, I'm gonna destroy you, and I gotta buy certain people to trick into getting sacrificed, and I gotta throw glass orbs at people, and that's horrifying. That's makes it way scarier if you bring skulls, but also really in character.
Intimidation
So
factor.
I just wanted intimidation factor. So I just wanted to thank everybody for joining us for our session 0 character creation. I'm going to continue to work with these players to finalize their characters, and we have a whole nother cast of combatants ready in the barracks, to create their characters and refine their stuff. So we'll have some great combatants for you when the time comes. My name was Anthony. You can find me every Friday, 8:30 Eastern, right here on We Have the Tale. I run Chew RPG, which is on Kickstarter right now. Go check it out. Only has about maybe a week and a half left, and it's fantastic. I'm having a great time. Come check out, play it. I'm also going to be doing more Fallout stuff on Cyberpunk Uncensored around mid-November. So that's really what I got going on. But I also run a lot of one-shots on Wednesdays for We Have the Tale, which Black Void is a little bit of a longer thing, and I'm really happy to do it. And then I'll be back to running more one-shots after that on Wednesdays. So check me out on Weave and on Twitter at Praying the Plague. In no particular order, we're going to go back and start with our wonderful tech for tonight. Ian V. James playing No Bones in Black Void.
At Ian V. James. Ah, man. I really hope I die very quickly. Or live to the very end, to die second to last. I don't want to live in a world where No Bones wins this. No Bones exists simultaneously as an accident and in spite, and he also doesn't even exist yet, so you have to catch it next week. I've invested everything into Battle Axe. My dump stat is Bones. I will not explain anything else, but I'm at Ian V. James on Twitter. I like Pathfinder. I talk about Pathfinder, and I stream Pathfinder on Penny for a Tale. I'm also on this channel all the time, but that's it for me.
Catch me on Ian's Pathfinder as well. Also playing No Bones type fairly soon. And next up, our other wonderful tech and amazing Weave the Tale contributor, Sam, playing Minta.
Hello, Samantha Minta. I am scribbling Penny on the Twitters. I will be playing Minta Dion next week with her sanguous desires. I can't even say that word. But I'm super excited for that, to throw glass orbs at people and sacrifices, poison, and all of that. Ooh, it's gonna be fantastic. Other than that, you can also catch me on Friday playing Chew with the wonderful Anthony. More diagonal that way. I'm so excited, where I play a vegan that is not a pacifist. She will kill you if you are not an animal.
Your face.
Your face, yeah. I'm not gonna hurt but your face I can hurt.
Will not hurt the animal, but the humans are horrible, disgusting creatures. Or you can catch me on Sunday, where I do play an innocent person. The lovely Ava Ravenswood, totally innocent, the best. Other character, not so much. Yeah. But yeah, that's it for me. Just make sure you check out Weave the Tale's Twitter for all of our upcoming shows, our upcoming season, which will start in January. We have a lot of cool things on the docket, so just kind of keep in touch, and it will be good times.
I am horrified to think about the glass orb injuries, and I'm going to have to describe in detail for a system as crunchy and devastating as Black Void. But you know what? It's all in the spirit. I got you. You're like, I'm okay. I know exactly how it's going to affect him. Okay. So thank you so much, Sam. And last but not least, Darby Peck, Deepak, playing Rin with audience plants, the unstoppable Rin. Take it away.
Yeah. Hello. I am Darby. You can find me on Twitter as @DarbyPack. That's my real human name, but really I'm just a possum in a skin suit. What am I doing that's online lately? Not a lot right now because I'm schmoozing and cruising and doing real human job stuff, but you can see me on Twitch on occasion. Uh Co-host of Chaotic Pod, a podcast where we take weird prompts and make weird TTRPG characters. But yeah, that's it. And you'll see me in 2 weeks, a week, 2 weeks, 2 weeks, playing Rin with audience plants.
Rin with audience plants. Yeah. So keep an eye out for those brackets. Who gets announced between next week and this week, everyone. For our first session, our first bracket, then our second bracket, and then finally the final fight. You might even see Rin or No Bones or Minta on the cover, or not on the cover, but at least they're printed out with the art and description of a new supplement. Yeah, a Black Void coming out, immortalizing the beautiful. But that would be awesome to see No Bones, just a loincloth club person, or Rin with the audience and the arena at their beck and call, or Minta with broken glass on the cover. Because why not make me scared every time I open the book?
Why not?
So thank you. Thank you, everyone, for joining us for Black Void character creation. I'm so excited to do this arena with everyone. I will be wearing more leather on those days, and hope to see you all on Friday. This is the soonest time I'll see you. Bye, everyone.